So, Oxford United 0, Arsenal 3. If you didn't watch the game and you look at the score, you'd say, oh, routine victory for the Arsenal. Comfortable, easy. Eddie scores twice. Easy victory. El Neni gets on the score sheet. Brilliant. But for those of us who did painfully watch that first 62 minutes, them 3 goals were well deserved for us as fans that watched that, weren't they, Kenny? There was some poor performers out there tonight that didn't really stake a claim on the starting 11 for the game on Sunday against Tottenham away. We ended up getting the goals. I was a little bit shocked and annoyed with Eddie's first goal celebration. How dare you do that against Oxford was my thoughts. Putting your arm on that and come on, it's Oxford. But what did you make of it overall, mate?
You know, I just feel I was frustrated on behalf of Lokonga. I was frustrated on behalf of T and Tierney, and I was frustrated with them and on behalf of them because it's not a good look, is it? That as soon as you two come off the pitch, we up our tempo, we get a bit of quality in the field, quality in the game, and we start running away from Watford because the first half was just, really, really slow, pedestrian in terms of our passing, pedestrian in terms of our movement, and it's a case of like we were just trying to soak up pressure rather than get on the ball. You know, Fabio Vieira struggled in that sort of position that he was in. He was in actually in the, like in a position that he's probably not favourable to him. I thought Tomiyasu, that is a game that I don't think he would have liked. Like, don't get me wrong, the one bit of quality actually came from him when he did the overlap with Saka and then made put that cross in. But overall, it was very, very frustrating, very tepid, and I think everyone was universally amongst the Arsenal fans were frustrated. But as soon as we made those changes, brought off Kieran and Albert, and brought on Shevchenko, and brought on Xhaka, that's when I think with their presence, we were able to up their tempo and find a little space. And free kick, and then he puts the ball in there, and after that, Oxford's game plan goes out the window, and I think we've done it to a lot of teams. So it's no disgrace to Oxford because they're a couple of divisions below, because we've done it to teams in the Premiership. But all in all, I think if we kind of pick the bones out of it, I think the theme of today was basically, or maybe the plan was, no replays. We can't afford another game. We don't need a replay. So we had to make sure that by bringing those players on, we won the football game, and also make sure we don't come out unscathed. Although I said in my reel and on my Instagram that there's been no major injuries, but people were saying there was a bit of knock for Saka.
Yeah, apparently Saka's got sprained his ankle. Apparently, loads of people were
Oh,
saying
if he sprained his ankle, he should be all right. No, if he sprained his ankle, we'd be all right. He'd be fit enough for Tottenham. You know what I mean? I thought the way they were talking about it, I think it was like major ligament damage or something. But if it's a sprained ankle, then fine. He'll be fine for Spurs. But, ultimately, all I was worried about was, no injuries, no major injuries going into North London derby, and obviously the Man City game there. So Man United game now, people were saying, well, are you ruling out the FA Cup? No, I'm not. But when you do play teams like Oxford, then it's imperative that you just come out there unscathed and make sure you win the game. So I want to win this FA Cup. I want to stop Man City from doing a treble, and I want us to push hard for a major trophy, because as much as we're in a sense in the league table, there's no guarantees we're going to win it. So our 2 shots at silver apart from the league are the Europa League and the FA Cup, and I want us to go big in those competitions. Despite, I don't care whether we play Man City next or not. I want us to win it. You know what I mean?
Hey, I totally agree with you. This competition, Kenny, you're a bit older than me. Yeah, we've grown up on this. We've grown up on the buzz of the FA Cup. I see something the other day when I was watching the first Man City or Chelsea Man City game in the league the other night, and it came up. I was watching it on beIN Sport in the bar I was in. I wasn't drinking. I'm on the water. I actually had a pint of Sprite that night. And it came up that they're trying to reform the League Cup, no replays in FA Cups. It's like, just leave the game alone. I know there's loads and loads of games and all that. I get that, right? But the magic of the FA Cup, look at Stevenage yesterday. Yeah, imagine if it didn't go 2-1 in the end and they got a replay. That's massive for a football club like that. Now, we've seen other clubs like this weekend as well pull off shocks.
The alternatively, it's probably not a great idea, but if you're really, really worried alternative. If you're going to change the tournament and you're going to have a situation where you don't want replays, in these competitions, I just suggest that if you get a Premier League team gets a team from the lower leagues, from the like the second, the second division, and sorry, League Two or League Three, or get a non-league side, then I think the Premiership team should give up home advantage and automatically give it to those teams who need the money, and that way, if you're not gonna give them a replay, at least give them a home tie so they can make as much money as they can, albeit charge extra for the tickets, and then get local people who don't normally watch these sides to pack the ground, and that way that team can get from revenue, and then make sure that that TV, all those games are televised and all the money goes to them. That's the only return. That's the only return I'll accept if they were to sort of get rid of the replays, because as you said, the small clubs, especially teams from like League Two downwards and even into non-leagues, they absolutely need that money. They need that money big time.
How many clubs go out of business? Yeah,
Bury.
imagine exactly Bury. They are the oldest, or one of the oldest football clubs.
Yeah,
And
Bolton
they've gone out of business.
Bolton are just close to the edge all the time. Bolton and Oldham as well. So you think about it, when the inauguration of the first Premiership season, Oldham Athletic was a Premiership team in 1992.
Yeah.
And we all know that under Sam Allardyce, how good Bolton were, and how the fact that they actually got into the League Cup final, and how they're a team that no one wanted to play. So, those are teams that have been accredited to the Premiership.
Yeah, in fact, same with Swindon and teams like that, and Barnsley, like loads of teams. I want to talk about transfers real quick with you, because
yes,
we still haven't signed anybody, Kenny, as far as I'm aware, and it's 10 to midnight on the 9th of January in Spain. We've been tracking a player from Ukraine for what seems like an eternity, to be honest with you.
Yes.
We were then apparently in advanced talks with João Felix, who is now signing for Chelsea. Us and Man United have been gazumped on the fee for the loan, and obviously took on the wages. Where are you at with this? Because I look at our bench when we have our first 11 fit, and I think we're kind of 3 players short. Yeah, you don't really want to switch it up and bring players off the bench like the other night against Newcastle. Where are you with this, mate?
Well, first and foremost, when you talk about the game in Newcastle, when we didn't have anyone to bench, so I mentioned in our discussion, in our WhatsApp group, we could have used Fabio Vieira. Now they're saying that Fabio Vieira, wasn't ready. He was probably coming back from a bit of a knock, so he didn't want to risk him. So in that case, then you're another player short if you're not sure about Fabio Vieira's fitness, albeit at the Newcastle game a week ago. So it's imperative we do get quality in. All this talk about we don't want to pay the 11 million loan fee, and I don't think it's good business. Well, since when has Arsenal supporters been businessmen? Since when have they? I'm not. Don't get me wrong, respect them, but the fact is that we are fighting for the league championship. Now, people may not feel comfortable with that, and I respect that. But the fact is, if the best players are available, they should be coming to Arsenal, not going to Chelsea. It's no good, saying, "Oh yeah, well, right now we're going for the title. We're more likely to win silverware, so don't come to Chelsea, come to Arsenal." And then all of a sudden, when a player goes to Chelsea, we try and make a financial statement. The fact is that João Felix is he's still hasn't even hit his prime. He's got a very, very good high reputation, albeit he's had a few injuries. He probably hasn't been as consistent as we like. The fact is, he is a quality player, and will he? And the question is, will he make a difference to our team? 100%, it will make a difference to our team. We know, even from the the Oxford game, the first half, and we know from the Newcastle game that we sometimes have been struggled to break teams down. We kind of struggled to break West Ham down. It was kind of us wearing them out physically before we broke them down. But what we do need is a bit more creativity. We can't just rely on Fabio Vieira and rely on Odegaard. We probably could need a bit of creativity from João Felix. Remember, we haven't got Jesus as well. Now, in terms of like genuine creativity, Eddie needs service. He's not going to create
Well,
space and chance.
we could play João Felix up front instead of Eddie, because in my opinion, I think he walks straight in the first 11. Whereas this lad with the
100%
links
he
with
does.
Ukraine,
100% he
he
does.
ain't getting in the first 11 anytime soon, is he? Mudryk, he ain't getting in. Whereas there is a slot available for Felix to walk straight in.
Yeah, but
I'm baffled,
you would think,
I can't lie.
but Lee, you would think with the way we're going for Mudryk and the way we're going in for him aggressively, then it's not a case of, oh yeah, let's see how he gets on and see if he's going to be all right for next season. We buy for now. So the same sort
Kenny,
of
he's not picked a ball since November. Yeah, because their league ended in November.
Yeah, definitely. But we could always use that excuse that he's fresh. And
That'd be the excuse if he flops between now and the end of the season. On that bombshell,
definitely. But
go on, mate.
But as I said before, the fact is that games are going to be coming thick and fast. We're not going to have it all our own way. Teams are going to try and stop us from playing, and with fans need to get used to it. So when you forsake for financial reasons, players like Felix, and pretend it's your own money, just remember we do need players of that ilk to try and break teams down, because that'll probably be our downfall when we go for the major honours, especially the League Championship. Teams will come, camp, and ride their luck. The better teams will get away with it, and you only need a couple more better teams we're playing, and then that could cost us points in terms of going for the league. So we do need players like Felix and Mudryk.
Yeah, spot on, mate. Listen, we are going to wrap this up, people, and I'm going to make sure you go and check out my fan cam. Jez is next, then Matty, and then player ratings, people. But for now, we're out of here. Adios.